Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thanks for joining us. My name is Jose Ortiz.
And I'm Mario Benitez. And this week, we're jumping right into the world of spoken word artistry with poet Leah V.
This is another episode of Saturday Gigantic.
Yo, did you catch any of these Olympics this year?
I caught a lot of it. I've been watching the highlights.
Yeah.
Like, I don't watch it live. I follow NBC Sports or whatever on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I get notifications every time it's something. Like, I watched a lot of like the weightlifting, swimming.
Oh, you caught the weightlifter?
I caught the weightlifting.
Dude, that was one I wanted to watch.
Yeah,
That's like a
like-
random one.
Yeah, the swimming. I caught the
Yo, which did you check out the bro? I watched some random ass sports this time around.
Yeah.
Did you see the synchronized swimming one?
yeah.
Bro, I've never been like, how do you even do that underwater? That's like
Yeah,
some real
I can't do
Aquaman.
that. I can't do that on land.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that shit is kind of weird, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not weird. It's skill. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's crazy. Like, I want to know who the first person was that said, "Yo, this would be cool to do."
to like dance, but
Underwater.
like, dude, to have the timing underwater,
Yeah, with the
You know?
legs and
I'm like,
yeah. You know what I've noticed though? I saw that too. I was watching some of the synchronized routines and everything, and I don't know if that's I guess that is the term for name of the whole event, synchronized swimming or whatever.
yeah,
But bro, like the camera angles were fucking up everything.
yeah,
For a lot of those routines. Like a lot of routines, it only made sense if you put the camera from above or check like the side camera. They just
Yeah.
had routines looking silly, like because they were choosing different
at
cameras.
cool spots they'd go underwater.
Yeah, like it
And
was.
then, like,
I've
it's-
seen better like camera. I don't know if anybody's really talking about that, but I've seen better camera work at other events.
Yeah, but I imagine
certain
there's so
sports.
many events. You probably have so many crews.
Yeah.
And that gotta be a hard. That's a good point because that gotta be hard to film.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, it's a big, I don't think people take into account the amount of production that goes into that. Like, they're having it in LA in 2028,
Yeah,
and I don't know how that's going to work. Like, I mean, it's going to work, obviously, but they're trying to have, like, a no-car Olympics. Basically, they're trying to design it so that there's no, like, shuttles will take people to the, to and
to
from the
different
event.
games and
Mass
whatnot.
transit could be used. They want to make it the most eco-friendly Olympics ever,
Yeah,
where they're not trying to like not have the freeways free. They want people who are scheduled to work for that time of the Olympics to like try to work from home and stuff like that, which is crazy because a few years ago that concept would be bogus.
yeah,
Work from home.
yeah,
Work from home.
Oh my God.
I'm a painter.
yeah.
I don't need to paint my house. Like, there's a lot of people you can't do that with. I don't know
No.
how. It's kind of like now people just think that's regular way of life.
Yeah, doing
You
something.
can't. A lot of people can't work from home.
Bro, you know what's crazy? A lot of people, weird jobs. Like, I just saw that this dude performed a surgery, like a major, I don't know if it was like an organ transplant. It was like a major surgery. And the guy did it from across the world with a robot.
Oh, so it was like whatever he did on his end.
Yeah, and it's like,
was mimicked
it's
by
real
the
haptics.
robotic hands.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, it's like the guy is like a renowned surgeon and he was able to, like, to help
That's
the person.
incredible.
Yeah, he could do that from home.
No,
He
that's
go wake up, drink coffee.
Yeah.
If he got the system whatnot, he can
That's
do it.
incredible.
Yeah, that's.
I don't even know how that works. Listen, that internet connection got to be
You
pristine.
you can't have the dial up.
Yo, Capcom, take notes.
Yo, bro,
Like,
you had to.
I can't even do a hurricane kick without that shit dropping 5 seconds later. When I'm playing online and dudes is doing surgery. Can you imagine lag up during the surgery?
Bro,
Like, all right, I've made the incision.
you get the fucking.
He hasn't cut on this end, sir.
If you have Medicaid, that's what they give you. They give
Yo.
you fucking dial up.
Yo.
AOL 1.2 on your fucking surgery. Yeah, but the Olympic Games were awesome, man, this year. There was a lot of cool, like, a lot of things took over the fucking zeitgeist of the internet, right? Like,
Yeah.
I love the shooting event.
Yeah,
one
that was-
dude, hand in his pocket. That was
Yeah.
cool. And the shooting event that I found kind of funny is that America didn't even place in top 5, I think.
Yeah.
How we got every gun. We're like the most guns ever and not even a medal, bro, in shooting.
The irony.
Yeah, like, dude, it's because they didn't have the right targets, bro. They needed other Americans up there, bro.
Oh man.
They would have got all those fucking medals, bro. Shooting was interesting, and then dude, what broke the internet is the break dancing, bro.
Oh my God. Listen, gatekeeping's okay sometimes. You know, like that. Listen, I don't want to hear it. I don't know if this is like why it's a debate. Shorty sucks.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else to it.
You can't save that.
Well, yeah, it wasn't really deep like that. You know, it was just a joke. You know, to us it looked funny.
Yeah.
Like anybody would have got clowned for that. You can't even go to a park in the Bronx and do that. Yeah. Without looking like a fool.
On a cardboard, bro.
Yeah, you can't
brought
do
out
that.
The cardboard.
Like you'll have that's the shit that you do like you see your little cousin do.
Yeah, when they're first attempting to get in.
And you're like, oh, nice. Yo, you should really. You're gonna be real good. That's what that got out of me.
Yeah, and it was bad, bro.
Yeah, and I see everybody like trying to like. Oh, yeah, sure, the girl had courage to do it in the Olympics, but I mean, would you call it courage or would you call it like being disconnected from reality a little bit?
Kind of disconnected, because bro, if you look at like the top end of like breakdancers,
yeah,
like I'm talking about, I don't even know none of these people's names, but like you were into a little dancing, little
like I've always followed dancing
for a little while.
I've always followed dancing. I've watched like countless dance documentaries.
Yeah, we liked people from like Human to fucking that
like
whole Jabberwocky's age.
Ichigeki.
Yeah,
Ichigeki was a dope Japanese breakdancing crew. We're from New York, so you know Rocksteady crew.
Yeah,
you know,
and like they're like, if you see what they do, and like the Koreans, the Japanese, it's insane.
Yeah,
and then you're coming with that on a world stage. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know.
It just goes to show you, like with anything, I think it's just I'm not even trying to get serious about it. It's just, it goes to show you that some people just don't take things as serious as they should. Like this is the first year that breakdancing was, you know, put in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's out of the Olympics now.
Yeah,
too.
It's out of the Olympics. They made that decision. You know, it wasn't that person's fault. They made the decision apparently before this Olympics even happened. They knew they weren't gonna do it for next year.
Yeah.
But or the next Olympics. But like if I can't wrestle, if I can't swim, if I can't do fencing, if I can't do horse riding or whatever it is that's involved in the Olympics, like very few people would go up there and like try to do something that they absolutely can't do. Yeah. Because you think it's like, yo, I'm gonna look like a fool. It's a disrespect. I was like that's just silly. It makes me look dumb. But you do it with breakdancing. It just goes to show that it kind of how people view it. You know what I mean? Not people, but how she viewed it.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what she has like a degree in breakdancing. What the fuck does that even mean?
That's got to be like cultural studies.
Let me not even quote that. Maybe I'm wrong or I misread something, but I saw something about her having a degree in something or having like studied up. It's a dance. It's physical. You can't read a book and learn how to do that. Like you could read advice, I'm sure, and if you're already doing it, you know what I mean? But it's not going to teach you how to dance.
No.
You know
that had to, imagine, because, dude, like, I've been friends with, like, even, like, somebody I was cool with, one of my old jobs, they really, like, breakdance, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's, like, a culture thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like graffiti. It's like, you know.
It's a part of the elements that make up hip-hop.
Yeah.
You know, graffiti, MCing, breakdancing, all that was a part of, DJing. All of that was what made up hip-hop as a whole. It was goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just real goofy.
Yes, it was a bad representation for Australia, man.
Yeah, I mean...
And there has to be somebody else better, too.
That's what I refuse to believe that's the best Australia got. Like, if I go on YouTube and I type in Australian breakdancer, I shouldn't see her first.
Yeah.
Now that's all you can see.
But apparently, I think it was also the way that the judging was, how it was scored.
Yeah. Is
that you couldn't have, like, some of the best breakers there kind of go off. Because it had to be all this, like, technical, like, footwork.
Yeah.
It had to, like, you had to hit different pockets.
Right.
Instead of just, you know, what would really make a crowd that's there to see people break go off.
I mean, it makes sense if it's going to be in the Olympics that it has to have some type of, you know, basis off how they're judging.
Yeah.
Like clean transitions, footwork, holding a move, you know, aerobics or whatever it is. But she didn't score 1 point.
Oh, really?
She got all zeros.
She got all zero? I missed that part.
That's the part people don't want to talk about, right? She didn't score not one. She did nothing
she deserved
right.
at least a 1 point.
Nah, hell no. This ain't the SATs where you get
bro,
like
she could have got 1
500
point
points just for writing your name or whatever it is.
That made me feel the worst about that. She didn't get 1 point.
She didn't get 1 point.
That's crazy.
But it's like, you know, like now what is it? You know, now she's gonna probably be like a meme for like forever. It's gonna be all over everything that we've ever seen. It's gonna be everywhere. Like, and it just sucks because now you have all these old school breakdancers who are like been spinning on boxes on the street since like the 70s who are like, yo, this is trash. Like, we've been putting in blood, sweat, and tears into the dance for years, and then this person, the Olympics, bro. You heard that? I can't even go to Times Square and dance without talking to the right people.
You'll get booed. So
if I went to Times Square in a tracksuit, headband with a boombox, ready to get busy, they look at me and be like, "Yo, bro, we don't know you."
Nah,
like
bro.
we not only do we not know you,
you might get a shot, but if you come with some weak,
they're not giving me no shot. I might get shot. They're not getting me. They're not giving me a shot, bro. Like, her being on the Olympics was kind of goofy. Like, I don't care what nobody says about that.
Yeah.
It's not about a personal attack. It's just nobody who's like, that's like me going into a boxing event and
like, with golden gloves.
Yeah, like with a gold against a Golden Glove boxer who's like a trainer. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's been properly trained. Like, nobody would advise me to do that.
Yeah.
You know, you could
you could really get in there.
Yeah, and that girl could have hurt herself, bro. Like, she could have just done a bad spin, hurt her neck or something. Like, who vetted that? Like, I want to know who made that happen, bro. It's so.
Did you hear how she won?
What?
She won a contest to get into the Olympics.
How did she win?
The judge was her husband.
Oh wow!
Or someone she knows.
You see what I'm saying?
If that's factual, I mean the getting shitted on is deserved.
Yeah, he did her no favors.
Yeah.
That's a terrible move.
Damn. That's going to be an awkward argument, huh?
Honey, you were great. I don't know.
Oh, honey, down under.
Honey, you were great. Don't listen to the millions of people saying the same thing.
Oh, baby, don't worry.
You got all zeros, but you're a 10 to me.
Baby, those numbers don't matter. You're always a 10, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know what accent.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you before the contest, honey? Breakdancing isn't about numbers.
Breakdance is about heart and soul. That sounds like a leprechaun.
And you've got both of them. Yeah, that's not that's terrible.
Oh man! Shout out to all the cool people in Australia, though.
No, there's bad cool people in Australia, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if breakdancing is. I never known. I don't know much about what the dance scene is like out there.
Yeah.
I know more about France. France is heavy with the breakdancing.
Yeah.
And they're elegant with it. Like, they know how to get fancy.
Yeah.
Korea, big deal. Like, them dudes get busy. Japan, get busy.
Yeah.
Germany, get busy. The biggest dance battle in the world for breakdancing is in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I never even knew that.
The battle.
Oh, you know what?
What's it called?
Yeah.
The Battle of the World,
and
or
all
something
the different
like
crews come and perform and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I've done like a deep dive on that before.
Yeah. And all that is very. They. I feel like that event is sick. Like, I would love to see that event take place, but have them televise it.
Yeah.
On the same level, because they get busy.
Yeah, that's when you see the high end of that.
Yeah, they come out. Like, I think that would have been cool. Maybe the Olympics should have just judged off a reaction alone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you should have, whoever went, hey, give them a 10, bro.
Treat that shit like the Apollo, bro.
Yeah.
Just let people cheer and get out the fuck out of here. She would have definitely got, we should put her in the Apollo.
Bring out the Sandman, bro.
I'm going to put her on stage at the Apollo and put the crowd. Yeah, man. I mean, I get what people are saying. It takes a little bit of courage to get up there. I don't see it as that. I see it as like, it's a little bit of courage, but it's mostly just, you're bugging.
Yeah, it's being oblivious.
Like, I would not feel cool.
There's no self-awareness.
Yeah, I would, exactly. I would feel terrible getting up there with the hundreds of breakdancers that are probably in the city at that level that could be in the Olympics, and for me to go up there and like do some corny like shit I don't even really know what I'm doing. I would feel real. it's funny because she knew what to do. Like she knew what moves she was going for, but she just had no rhythm. It was not
finesse.
fluid. It was nothing. It was so bad, man.
Yeah, that's definitely the story that took over.
You see her? She did like she was sleeping. She was yawning at the other person.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
That's
bro.
goofy, bro.
But yo, shout out to America for winning so many medals, man.
What was it, like 100?
We won, I think, like 100, 112 or 110 plus, which is like, come on, man, you can't fuck with us.
That was crazy.
That's like when everybody feels the pride. It comes to sporting events.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. The NBA too. Well, not NBA, but basketball, the men's team.
Yeah.
Such an awesome win those last 2 games.
Yeah.
Did you see the highlights of them?
Yeah.
My man Steph Curry, yo, ridiculous. I was like, damn, he just put an exclamation on his career with that shit. Like
Olympics, bro.
Dude, on the whole world.
That's another like that. Like they have like a what is it called? Olympians Village.
Yeah.
Or Olympic Village.
And everybody just hangs out.
Yeah, it's like everyone. It's like Disney World for fucking Olympians.
Yeah.
Imagine just walking through Olympic Village and you see like
the world's best skier.
Everybody who's ever been anything in any sport
Yeah.
at the top of their game walking around.
The motherfuckers that do what's that shit called? Curling?
Curling. I missed it. Is that
Nah, that's Winter
Olympics,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
But yo, you know what was cool too with the Olympics? How Gojira opened it up.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was insane, bro.
I saw that.
That means like, and metal music is like, we were talking about that not long ago, how it's more accepted.
Yeah.
But bro, Gojira opening up with a heavy track in front of the world stage, that heavy metal and stuff is like completely not mainstream, but it's really accepted now. Not even Metallica has done something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they open up with a song that's apparently it was talking about like kind of the French Revolution, like killing the rich and shit. So like that's why they showed the head coming off like the queen
and all the like red like confetti coming out. It's supposed to be like blood.
And to do that on the world stage, and that's got to be. I doubt those guys ever thought they would be able to do that with their music when they were playing in probably a basement. Like every band starts.
Oh yeah, I'd have been cool with just going to that castle.
Yeah,
like that they performed at.
Yeah,
get a little view from where you saw the drummer was like the only one dolo.
Yeah,
you couldn't see. He was like in a little cave.
They put him in the fucking dungeon down there.
And they were harnessed in like on the balcony playing and stuff. Like that's big.
That's super big, man.
Yeah, that's shows how far heavy music has come.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Yeah.
It's weird how like you can meet somebody and they could rub you off the wrong way.
Yeah.
Or somebody you could meet them and then you get along with them. You know?
Yeah.
Those interactions. It's weird how like certain things could just click that, you know?
Yeah.
I bring that up because I remember like when it comes to the stand-up comedy thing, our guest today actually did one of the coolest things for me ever. And it was like, I told you about this one time, how I like bombed at a show. It was like an early show. Mm-hmm. And then I went and I did so bad at this early show, bro. And I never smoke weed before I go on stage. But I'm like, nah, I got to go smoke weed. So I'm just thinking that the night show was going to be bad, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm like, yo, the first one sucked. There's probably going to be nobody at this second one. I'm like, I go smoke weed, and then I step in there, and it's fucking packed. And it's like all these legit artists and shit. Like, there's like Grammy winners there, and I'm like, oh, shit. I did not prepare, bro. Because I was already in this, like, slump. And then I go up and I fucking prepared a little bit and I really actually killed as a host.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did really well. Had everybody laughing, the show moving along. And that's actually where I met Leah V, our guest today. She actually ended up doing like some spoken word that night. And I thought it was cool because at the end of the show, like, you know, if you're a host or you're a comic, you never really, sometimes you step off the stage and then you're into the mist.
Yeah.
You know, you're not appreciated. And I remember she went on stage and she was like, yo, give it up for Mario because he was one of the best hosts that I've seen in a long time. And, like, everybody was like, yo, agreed. And, like, actually gave it up to me. Yeah. And I always remember that being, like, a cool-ass gesture because, like, you know, you could just, like I said, you could just do the Homer Simpson meme into the crowd.
Into the crowd, yeah.
Yeah. So I always remember that. And, like, that's how I got cool with her. And yeah, our guest today is actually Leah V, who's a spoken word artist here in New York City. Man, just check her out. Her events are awesome. Her work is like, of course, I don't know much about spoken word or poetry. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I mean,
like when you hear it, you know it's good.
yeah, yeah. I don't think I've had the like. I mean, spoken word for me, it's always been something that I know. There's pockets like with anything, with music, with
Yeah.
rap, with anything, poetry. I got caught in a whirlwind once of just like, you know, knowing people who used to like mingle with it or have friends that they were supporting or whatever, and you just kind of get wrapped up in a world of all that, and you're like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah. It's not.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's because there's levels. There's people who are good at it. There's people that aren't. I've never been like a big person on it, but it plays so tightly with like poetry, writing music. You know,
Yeah.
like it's all connected.
Yeah, I always. That's like something that like anytime like you hear like a good poet, it almost becomes music.
Yeah,
You know. So
Yeah.
like us as like always appreciating music more.
yeah. I think you tap into the same places when
Yeah.
you're writing spoken word and you know lyrics for music. It's meaning. It's normally off of like somebody's experience. You know,
Yeah.
so.
So we're actually gonna have a conversation with Leah V right now, and check it out, guys. And a little later, we got a little surprise for you, so stay tuned. You know, Crocs was originally in that movie Idiocracy. You ever seen that movie?
No.
So it's about, it's basically about making fun of the future where America's like super dumbed down, and like it's like it was a real premonition. But the director, he bought Crocs because he saw this shoemaker, and he was like, these things are never gonna take off. He was like, there's no way anybody's gonna accept these as shoes. So he made everybody wear them in this movie. This came out, I think, like
A long time ago.
early 2000s, maybe like
Really?
late 90s, and it's supposed to be like the president is like an actor. He's like, he doesn't know anything. It's like it's making fun of, and everything has become way worse. And those shoes, like
Took the
everybody
fuck off.
really took
My
off.
nieces have it's like a whole thing to get like the right charms for the
Giblets.
Crocs, and then like you trade charms and stuff.
Yeah, they put like little pins in them and stuff,
I
right?
refuse.
to get crocodiles. The audio's going. We good? All right, we in it. And shit, maybe we start with the Idiocracy, because Idiocracy. All right, cool. Let's go. You ready to rock? How you
Yep.
feeling?
Good.
All right,
Good
nice.
to go.
What's up, Leah? How you been? It's been a
Hello
little
there.
while.
Yes, it
How's your
has
summer
been.
going?
I think it's been 4 schools and 7 years ago. No, it was
It's the right
2020,
with a
I
feather.
think.
Yeah, probably about.
2020. Yeah.
Or 2021, yeah.
Yes, you came through to one of my shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2022.
Yes.
We're
that
getting
was.
closer. I'm
I'll
good.
be back
I'm
some
good.
more now that I'm free, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta come through. I've been telling you.
Yeah, how's your summer treating you?
It's all right. It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah.
Fucking heat wave out here today, man.
Yeah.
I went out to shoot and it was the worst idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, Central Park is just filled with mad tourists right now. Cannot walk.
Yeah, you wearing dark colors.
Yeah, it's
You're
dumb.
melting right now.
I didn't even know it was like that hot. I thought it was like in the 80s. Shit was like 93
It's
when
like
I got
air
out.
quality alerts out here.
Yeah.
We got like 3 today. They extended it.
That's the shit you hear about. People just be like passing, like that, like dying, like from the heat.
Yeah.
I love a New York summer though.
Yeah, there's
I love
nothing
it.
like it. That's true.
No, some the people are gonna find a way to make water fall one way or the other, whether
gotta
it's a
start
hydrant.
Busting more fire hydrants open.
The guys next door to my crib are they were on the news throwing water balloons.
Oh,
down.
people still do
Like,
that?
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to throw water balloons when we were kids like
Oh, man,
crazy.
we were bad with that shit.
Yeah, I'm happy to see people still doing it.
It was at like commuting hour though, so it's like 7:30, 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. You
People
know,
are trying to walk to the train, which is around the corner from the house, and it's just.
I get hit with a water balloon that early, I'm calling out. I
Yeah,
can't-
gonna believe what happened. I got hit with a.
I left work the other day because I got soaked in the rain.
Yeah.
Like where I work, Ubers can't go beyond a certain point, right? So you have to walk the rest of the way to the actual building because of security.
Oh.
And it was, it waited to the minute I got to the fucking spot to pour.
Oh man.
Damn.
And
that's
I was
the worst.
walking, and I had an umbrella. I was like, oh, I'm good. Bro, that shit wrecked my joint. I just had it like this.
And you had an umbrella?
I had it over my face. I protected my hat. My hat was the only thing that was dry. And all my jeans, you know, like if you walk in a puddle,
Yeah.
and you have like your sneakers, your socks soaked. That was me at my job. I was like, yo, I'm not staying here. Like, I'm gonna be in this cold ass building for 12 hours. You're bugging.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm leaving.
Pneumonia waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we don't know if that's a suitable reason. I was like, you didn't hear me? Like, I'm leaving. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm freezing, dog. I tried to stay there like 3 hours. I have like a little space heater. I try to like dry my socks off and shit. Shit took like 4 hours to dry one sock. I was like, bro, I'm out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I hate I feel immature if I get caught in the rain. Like,
It's been torrential lately, though. All
Yeah.
the weather has. Shout out
That's
to
true.
climate change.
yo, climate change is real.
Yeah.
People who've been denying it, I'm like, you don't
It's happening.
see the world? You don't,
Exactly.
You don't notice this
People
shit?
deny everything, son.
Yeah.
Like, shit that's already been confirmed, they'll be like, nah, I don't believe this.
Yes, anything rooted in science.
Anything rooted in anything, it feels like.
Yeah,
Like,
this
you just
is
hear
true.
people say dumb shit, so I'm not surprised. People don't believe climate change is real. Or that cloud seeding shit, like in Dubai.
Yeah.
You seen those storms they've been having?
Yeah.
Insane, dog.
Yeah, those joints look nuts, man. And it's like, it's going to get worse and worse, too. And nobody is, by the time everybody's like, all right, we should really take control of this, it's going to be over. People think we got, like, refugee and migrant problems now. What happens when whole countries start flooding?
They're gonna go
yeah.
to space. Did you see Don't Look Up?
Oh, yeah.
They're
yeah.
gonna go to
That
space. The
movie's-
rich people, the 1% is gonna go to space.
Yeah.
That movie is wildly
They're gonna be on the
depressing,
moon.
bro.
It is.
That movie is wildly depressing.
It's scary.
Is it depressing, though, because it's rooted in truth of today? I kind of feel like
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's also depressing just the idea that, like, the last moments of Earth would probably look like that. Just
Yeah.
filled with wildness and just people not giving a fuck about anything. That movie is messed up.
Doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility.
No, it sounds spot on.
that
Right?
sounds like what it would probably be.
But
yeah.
it being the end, that's heavy.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that people don't realize that none of that shit is really in our control. Like, you know, just a giant asteroid could just veer off slightly,
Mm-hmm.
and it just happens. Gravitational pulls could just spin it directly to us, or solar flares. It just takes the sun just to spark up a little more, and there's
Well, like the
nothing you can do.
dinosaurs.
I don't think people would actually even have time to know. It would just be
Let
like,
us hope.
yeah, I wouldn't want to know. Fuck
Me
it, man.
neither. Me
Yo, why is the
neither.
sun doing that? It got a little hot. It's really hot right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to know.
No.
Shit, I almost, when we had that little mini earthquake, that
Oh
shit,
man, where were you when that happened?
I was in my crib and I felt the
too.
windows start moving. I was like, yo, hold on. And it started getting more intense.
Yep.
I was like, oh shit, this is an earthquake.
Yeah. Did
For
you
real.
feel it?
Yeah, I mean, I live in Bushwick, right? And like, there was a solid like 5 to 10 seconds where I was just like, oh, it's just a car going by because we live like
Yeah, you
on
don't
Bushwick
expect-
Ave proper, so
Someone-
where our room is in the front room, so the street's right there. So I was like, oh, it's just it's got to be a truck, blasting that. What was it? That?
Some reggaeton or
Yeah,
some shit.
something exactly.
Pop
Any-
smoke.
Any number of songs, exactly. And then I was like, wait, this is taking a while. The red light shouldn't be that long. And I looked outside. There was nothing outside. I was like, what?
Yeah,
It was wild.
That was
Yeah.
mad scary, yo.
I was sleeping.
I thought the building was falling.
Really? Did you sleep through it?
I just had a dream that I was like, shit.
Oh, wow.
I was just
Wow.
totally gone. I would have been that guy waking up with a bookshelf on me and shit.
Yo, what happened?
What the fuck? All my books. That's fucking funny. So, Leah, I always like to talk to you about events and stuff because, like,
Yes.
you actually curate like dope events in New York City. You know.
Yeah, I tried to.
Yeah, I think it's just the environment, you know. For a comic at least, I've been all over. We step into a lot of rooms, you know. And then like having a good environment is like key for like all artists to feel comfortable and perform.
100%.
Yeah, and it's like I think that's like the vibe you go for with everything, right?
Well,
like,
thank you. That is my hope. I mean, I think I was in a space for a long time that's a little different from I think the current generation of curators. Like,
yeah,
so I was under I was under all of the OGs, the older people, which wasn't always a good thing. There was like weird competition and between series and like
Always.
yeah, there was always some like, but like who has like poetry beef? You know what I mean? Like who has poetry? But it was a thing, and so I kept trying to like get out from under that, or try to correct it in whatever way I can in the places in the series I was a part of. And eventually I was just like, fuck this. I'm just not going to.
Right?
Yeah. So about a year ago, I had been doing one-offs, but I finally committed. My current series is called Mike-tastic. And it's all art forms. You know, the monthly open mic is strictly open mic. So there's no features.
Yeah.
There's no features. There's no slam. It's like no features, no slam, all fun. It's one of our many bylines. By the artists for the artists, and I wish we could get some more of you guys in there.
Yeah,
but I get one here and there.
I'll be at the next one for sure.
I get some drop-ins. Yeah. But then I remember the day that I learned that comics like will hit multiple spots a night. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So when it first happened to me, I was insulted.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, they came.
You're not even gonna stay for the show.
Yeah.
But then I was schooled by a poet whose husband is a comic, and I learned that dynamic, and now it's all good. Comfort. Comfort. I think taking away the features factor. I think taking away like any competition. I also do trivia.
Yeah.
So the idea is that there's no downtime. You know, you go to like a poetry-based open mic, and people are slapping, and it's dimly lit, and that's cool and all, but. We're young. We want to keep it moving. I need to keep it moving, especially after a long day. So the idea is anytime there's a musician setting up, anytime there's any type of downtime, I'm like, we have these auction fans. And I'm like, put up your auction fan. We got trivia. And then everybody does things. Then I like throw a gift out. Just kidding. I don't throw anything out.
You got to get the gun. Get the
oh,
t-shirt.
man. That's a good idea.
Super close.
Like where Matt is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea. One day.
I'm gonna get that one day for you. Fucking t-shirt
Shirt cannon.
Yes. For one of the bigger shows. For one of the theater shows. Because I did do my first off-Broadway theater show, which is like the showcase. So the idea is to have the open mics and then the showcases, which are
like to filter the performers,
more refined,
right?
like feature artists. Nice.
You did it at the Tank, correct?
The Triad.
The Triad.
Yes.
Triad Theater. On 72nd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice spot.
Yeah, it is. It is a nice spot, and I have a good relationship with the staff there because I featured there so much. So that's good for me.
How was that getting into like a theater room performing?
I mean, for me, I had been there. I had already featured there a good 12 times with other series. Yeah, so I was like good on it. But as a curator, as somebody who's like producing, that was a little trippy.
Yeah.
I never had a reason to go in a green room before. It's just going to take me to the stage. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So that was really cool and very stressful. Very stressful. It's kind of like a juggling act now.
Yeah.
You know, between like being the host, being the producer, and being the performer. And you always have to make sure that one gets more time, as much time as the other. But the ball will inevitably drop. So it was stressful. But, I'm going to just keep trying to have Leah V, the performer, and Leah V, the producer, like, kind of coexist. I don't want them to be, like, completely different people, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's the same thing with, like, if you're producing in comedy, you put it together a show, in a lineup, you're doing, like, so many things.
Yeah.
So it's hard to think about your set.
Yeah.
And then, like, now you got to go up. And you're like, shit, I didn't think about my set at all.
Yeah.
Right. You almost don't want to.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I didn't for many months. I wasn't performing. And then once I started performing at my own shows, I found that the newbies especially were like, oh, I didn't realize, like, you do this. And I was like, I guess I can get up there then. But sometimes it's just no. I don't want to, especially as a poet, talking about all this deep, dark shit. But if I'm hosting the show, I'm like, hey, who had a good day at the office today?
Yeah, you got to switch it up.
Yeah, exactly. Always switching it up.
Deep, dark shit. That's always interesting to me because there's this whole, like, notion about comics that, like, everything comes from, like, a dark place sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like, comics are scarred and stuff. Mm-hmm. But, sometimes it could just come from, like, happy events. Mm-hmm. Do you think, like, when you write, do you pull more from trying times or any more happier experiences, or what's the balance there?
So I've been writing my whole life, right? But I started really getting into spoken word probably about 10 years ago. And at first, the first few years, figuring it all out, it was all dark shit. But so was anything in your early 20s, right?
Yeah,
I was in my early 20s, so it's like, what are you gonna do? So it was all coming from dark stuff. But I started to challenge myself. You get bored, nobody, especially like in therapy, and you're learning that maybe don't count on that as it all the time. So I started challenging myself, and I still do, to write some more empowering. Like, still, I think everything should still have substance, but that doesn't mean it has to be dark.
Yeah.
But I do say bad for the heart, good for the art.
Yeah. That's a good quote.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like the dark, people who can relate to it, that's what it is. There's a lot of people who are in those positions in life. Even if you've gotten over it in your head, you might be delivering something that someone's going through right there.
Yeah.
So the crowd definitely is like gonna connect to that,
Yeah.
I think that's the same for a lot of things too, right? Like comedy, music. There's a lot. Like you think about songs, like some of the darkest songs. A lot of artists have been over that hump, but it's just still so meaningful. You know what I mean? Like the people connect to it on another level. So yeah, you got to be able to like be multifaceted when it comes, like be able to switch it on and off.
For sure.
When you're doing what you're doing.
For sure. And I think that takes a level of, I'm sure it's the same in comedy. It takes a level, I think it shows a level of like expertise to be able to do that. Especially, it's still challenging, but the dark shit definitely comes easier.
Yeah.
Is it the same for you guys?
I think so. I know what you delve into with your channel is it's super dark.
Everything's dark.
Yeah, he's got like awesome.
Oh
true
yes,
crime.
yes. I was clicking around there today.
Yeah.
Yes, that is just super dark. Talk about dark.
Yeah, it's dark. You realize at a point that some of the hardest things to talk about are not documented.
Yeah.
Or it's done a certain way where it just feels like, very Hollywood, I guess, is the only thing I could think of. Like, you watch a lot of, like, the shit we did when we did that skit with the detective.
Yeah.
We're poking fun at the way those shows are, because a lot of the times the shows are about the cops. It's not about the people it affected, the neighborhood, the family members, the friends, and next door neighbors. So I made everything about that, and that shit is, it's dark.
Yeah.
But, it definitely sends a message when you're trying to get the point across, because that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So there's really no light. The light is like the first 20 minutes, I guess, of the stories. That's like the happy parts, but you just know where it's going, so it's never happy.
Or at least maybe shining the light on an event that the family cares about, right?
Yeah.
That's like maybe a positive to it.
Yeah. It
Look at you trying to find the silver lining.
Yeah, you got
it's bittersweet, I guess.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll speak to families where they're like, "Oh, thank you for doing this," but at the same time, I know it's just nothing but heavy.
Yeah.
They're happy to know that someone's acknowledging what happened, but it's not exactly what you want to go on there and see either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to really. It's unfortunately the only thing that's left to do.
Yeah.
To bring it to light, so.
Yeah, it's like with comedy writing, I'm trying to pull from like funnier, of course, funny's funny, right? So it should be something that's like lighthearted and cool and stuff. But you do always, if you look at the subject matter, my funny is like talking about being diabetic. Yeah. It's like, that shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it really does suck if you go down to the bare bones of it. Yeah. But you try to make fun of it,
There's also times where, and I'm going to shift from you to you, because when it comes to comedy, there are times where I know for a fact, because I don't do comedy, but I find I'll hit you up sometimes with some funny shit, just randomly, like, yo, we have to do this. But there's times where you think about something and it's hilarious to you. But then you think about it the next day, you're like, man, that shit is only funny to me and like 3 of my friends. Like, only they're going to get this, Yeah. So you ever find yourself having that issue where sometimes you're like, I don't think people are going to really feel this. Like, how do you go about that?
Yeah. That's not, I think it would, I think if you would have asked me a few months ago, I would have been like, I don't, I feel pretty confident, but I've been really like deliberately trying to challenge myself lately by writing for the page and not for the stage, right? I'm trying to rebuild a publication portfolio, and there's only so much you can do there through spoken word. So I've been trying to write short form, and like for anybody who sees me perform, like my poems are notoriously long. They're like between 5 and 10 minutes, like long. And so I try to figure out. I'm trying to figure out how to create these short poems that have like the same effects, but it feels I'm so like last time I wrote that much for the page. I was like finishing college, so it was like definitely challenging, and especially to try to have the same effects. Or I think writing on the page, you want to make things a little more cryptic, so it's a little less literal. And on the page, I think the little Dr. Seuss rhymes you can't make that rhythm with your voice, so they just look like Dr. Seuss rhymes.
Yeah.
So lately I've been trying to figure that out. And also I've been working on this like braggadocio spoken word poem that's like a play on the concept of like having a braggadocio spoken word poem.
Yeah.
I think the scene is a little oversaturated right now, especially because of Instagram. You got these 15-second videos containing like one bar that's like, oh, that you heard on a cipher sometime, like on BT or whatever, right? So it's like it doesn't feel, there's sometimes that doesn't feel as authentic as I think spoken word should be portrayed, right?
Yeah.
So my idea was to write a poem that has a bunch of like bars that's just like flexing on everybody, but it's also ironically saying, why would I do that? I'm just an expert at this, and this. But then I also kind of shit on myself a little. So it's just, the idea is to say, like, you have to continue to be a student. You have to continue to study the craft. You have to continue to grow and learn instead of just writing your 15-second bar.
Yeah.
And so that's hard for me because I'm a very humble person, and
art.
like, you have to try to, it's a kind of a complex narrative to form. So I've been struggling there. But I think on my next show on the 18th, I'm going to try to release it into the world.
Yeah. I feel like that's like a big thing. And we were talking about this not long ago. How like art in general right now, it kind of feels like, and how do you keep the authenticity of expression and whatnot through all art forms? And it's hard because we all do want to be successful, right?
100%.
True. So it's like if the business model is pump out
the 15-second bar,
these snippets, right?
Yeah,
you're almost forced to kind of go down that route.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, that's the reason I abandoned TikTok.
Yeah,
because I just left that alone because at the time you only had 3-minute videos. I can't tell any of these stories in 3 minutes.
No.
So for me, it's like I give you
one of them little.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
So I faced the same issue because I couldn't really. I give you like 30 seconds of their life, and then the next 2 or 3 minutes is like the most fucked up shit in the world, and then I'm like, oh, if you want to see the long version of this, go to YouTube, where it's like a half-hour video. But it made me abandon it completely because I'm like, man, this shit just starts to feel like every other TikTok channel where they're just, it's like you can't help but it come off like you're, just talking about the most foul shit in the world and just want to get the views.
Yeah.
So you'll see the people who follow me on TikTok versus the people who follow me on YouTube. It feels like two different crowds entirely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's a community on YouTube.
Right,
like,
yeah.
People that kind of
it's somewhat of that on TikTok, but TikTok is a lot of more random people just stopping by saying shit and they keep moving to the next video versus YouTube where it's like it's growth and people just there for the long form content.
Yeah.
A lot of content isn't meant to be condensed or be shortened. Like you just can't, you have to kind of stick to it, and my videos have gotten longer. Because I'm like, fuck it. If you don't want to read, if you don't want to hear it, then I don't want you to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see it. Like I can't really see it any other way. So I get what you mean. Like when it comes to that, because you find yourself trying to like be in the middle somewhere, so that you can grab the new, like, you could kind of be in the midst of like the TikTok and the social media stuff, but also do what you really do. So that's hard. Yeah,
it is. It is. It's trying to find that sweet spot. But I think you learn, and I'm sure both of you have figured this out in your various art forms. I think you learn that, like, you learn as you go what you don't want to be, right? Like, so that's where I'm at. I think I was at a place where I was just trying too hard to be all of the things, and then at one point, I was just more like, I was dealing with some real life shit, and I was just like, I just don't have the time, I don't have the desire. I did my first off-Broadway show as a producer, and that just like changed everything for me. And I was just like, there was a lot of things that I just said, fuck this, I'm just not gonna do this anymore. I don't want to. There's the posting schedules and all of that, like the beating the algorithm thing. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. And I'm going to put out what I want to put out. And if it hits, it hits. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But
yeah, exactly.
I miss the good old days where it was just like, you just go to the open mic, you spit your shit, you meet some people. Maybe you become Facebook friends. like somewhere along the way, but you like see them there, and like they have their little shows, and you go and it builds and you see them grow, but it's not just like in your face all the time. I just miss the function, like friendship at the function. That's what I miss. Community at the function, and that's the environment I try to create. I hope.
I think you are. I mean, I felt that, a couple times. Like, everybody was like paying attention to shit. Yeah.
And my fiance's parents were big fans of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wouldn't. They still to this day talk. Yes, they'll see this.
Come see my special.
No, they were big. They still talk about you to this day. They're from Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
And Utah, my future mother-in-law. It's so weird to say fiance's parents. I feel like the word fiance in itself is pretentious.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to
It's Tim. Like French, right?
Yes.
It sounds French or some shit.
That's definitely the root there, the etymology there. But
old English.
Yeah.
He found me fiance.
Me fiance. My fiance.
Fiance.
They're a very diverse couple though, and they both liked you a lot. And I think, like, when you were talking about the idea to try to create that funny's gonna be funny regardless. It's like there were so many different types of people in that audience. And it was a good time. You did kill it.
Yeah.
You did kill it. I've been trying to get you back since.
Yeah, I'll be back soon.
I know.
I'm just a comic now.
I know. Hey.
Which is kind of goofy.
Is it frightening? Is it scary to you?
Oh, it's super scary. Like really, really putting all the chips in.
Yeah.
And hoping you win a jackpot, so to say, but
I did that too, I gave up my full-time job.
Oh, did you?
I did. I did
nice.
about a year ago.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. So how's been the year?
It's been horrifying, and it's been eye-opening, and it's been humbling, and I feel very blessed to have the ability to be able to even attempt such a thing.
And you're here. You're doing it.
I am. I definitely am. The hustle's different now, that's for sure. But like, you get crafty. Like, I'm an officiant now.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a big running gig of mine, and I'm listed on Wedding Wire and the Knot. And you can the ideas that I give out, that I create curated ceremony speeches. Like, I get to know the couple a little bit, and then I can create something that sounds like prosy and poetic. And
that's actually interesting because people probably have a hard time doing that.
They do. And to find something unique that's not just somebody up in there just like,
Yeah.
So, and so I think it gives a unique experience. At least that's what I'm banking on.
Yeah.
And then I've also been doing some performance coaching, like for spoken word artists starting out, and like, Yeah, you get crafty, you figure out ways to make it all work.
I've noticed it makes you grateful though, right? Like for like little things. Like that's how I feel right now. I'm like, I'm eating. I got a place to live. I'm chilling.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
there's not much more, right?
Family,
Without those
friends.
things you just said, just not much else could happen.
Yeah, like those are the main things. Like everything else, who gives a fuck? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
we become such consumers. Like I have a problem with that too. Like,
Me
like
too.
I want to buy things.
Me
or
too.
I need to buy a little. I really like this Funko Pop because of the show. Or it's little shit that I'm like, I don't really.
Need this. I've also learned that. I love that you just said that. I love that you just said that because, like,
Funko Pops.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, what was that?
Act like you don't fucking got them
Bro,
shits.
through the pandemic, I got so many of them shits. Through the pandemic, bro, I was on Target website like, do I need this Nintendo Switch? I definitely need this, bro. Everybody's playing this shit. You couldn't go outside.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
and then buying shit like, yo, everything, the price dropped on so much. Like everything just was right there.
But you realize that you don't really need any
Nah,
of
you
that
really,
shit.
I know. That's
Yeah,
why I'm saying that. Like it
exactly.
was a bad idea.
Yeah, like I had this thing where I would buy games and never play them. like for the longest, I remember you guys bought me my old PlayStation at one time.
Oh yeah, he used that. We started calling that shit the Netflix box.
Yeah, that's all I used it
Because all he did was he would go online and we'd all be on PlayStation like, yo, Mario, get in the party. He'd be like, nah, yeah, I'm watching this comedy special. So it was always on some stand-up shit.
The most expensive
YouTube.
Roku
I'm like, bro.
ever. $500 fire stick.
That's
got
how
you.
they get you, though.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. You do realize how much you don't need.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's like something that I'm just like being grateful for.
Yeah, man, I started cooking again.
Yo, cooking and saving money.
That's when
yo.
TikTok. That's
Crazy.
when TikTok gets pulled up mad quick. These are fucking 1-minute recipes. I'm about to do a 5-course meal
Yeah.
in 2 minutes.
Can I make a 5-course meal with this dollar ramen?
I bet there's a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got an egg, it's over.
100%.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't scare me too, being like on my own, because I'm like, yo, we grew up
Yeah, struggling.
Struggling.
Struggle meals all day.
Yeah, we're a bunch of hood strugglers, bro. So I'm like, dude, the way life is now, it's like
You can't ever be too good for white rice with eggs.
never, bro. And I still like it. You give me some corned beef, I'll eat that 5 days a week, bro. Corned beef, some dog food, and white rice. I'll take that shit down.
I'm fucking
Not
dying
the
because
dog food.
I'm dying, yo.
Puppy
Because
chow and white rice.
Mario's a corned beef connoisseur, bro. He had that shit on deck always, bro. Oh my
That's
God.
one of the
Can't
hood
believe
struggle meals that I still appreciate in older age, you know?
I mean, struggle meals taste delicious.
We
Yeah.
gotta get you a corned beef sponsor now.
I get sponsored by the Key.
Oh, the shit that's,
Or is that spam? Or
I think that's.
I think that's corned beef too. No, corned beef is the so ridiculous.
The good old days.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't scare me though. Like I'm like, it is gonna be what it is. You can't beat me, man.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta go all in sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
If I was in the position where I had to do that, I've done it. You know,
Yeah.
I've worked 2 jobs like for the last 15 years, so I've always been lucky enough to have something to kind of fall back on. But there've been times where I just straight left.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I've called him the same way he's called me. Like, yo, bro, I'm supposed to be at work like an hour ago. I'm in the park.
I'm out.
You just hear the bird?
Bro, that shit was so bad. I remember one time waking up at like 2 in the afternoon and calling out. And it was like 9 a.m. where I'm supposed to be into work. And the girl at the field office was like, Papi, you can't do that. You got to call out at least 10 minutes before you come in. It's 2 p.m. We're about to leave. I was like, sorry, yo. Like, that's how I knew I was done. Like, yo, I can't.
Yeah.
I got to do something else. That shit, I couldn't.
Yeah, sometimes you just reach those points, you know? And then it's like also like you kind of hear about like everybody that's approaching like different art forms, right? They all reach those moments where it's like kind of now or never.
Do
almost.
or die. Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly. It's the come to Jesus moment. That's
Yeah.
why I was a recruiter in fintech Do you know how opposite? Like, that does not align with anything about whom I am as a human being, a contributing member of society in any way, shape, or form. Like, truly. So, this is back when there was a whole bunch of tech layoffs going on, and then they were going on for a good minute. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and I felt like even the people around me at work were saying, like, Leah, you're just not here. Like, we know what you want to be doing. We know like, we hear the way you talk about your poetry, and we hear the way you talk about work, and these two are not aligned.
Yeah,
so,
you always have those people that are like, you don't belong here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's you just hear it in the back. I fucking don't belong here.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was lucky enough to be able to figure it out, you know. I was still figuring it out, shit.
Yeah.
You know, who's to say? Who's to say? But I do think it brings out a sense of gratitude that you might not have had, and even the hardest days are more fulfilling than any day I spent at the office.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know.
It's also a different appreciation too, because like if you have had this time, because you imagine there's people that have been kind of spoon fed and whatnot, never had to work hard, never had to deal with group projects or real manual labor or anything like that, and they kind of go around, they look at everybody else like they're not really busting their ass, but at least we know
Right.
what people are really fucking doing, because we've done it,
100%.
and there's so many people out there like that don't have the same interests or whatnot, or don't have that path, but they get up every day 9 to 5, bust their ass off, I think about that shit a lot, like, damn, so many people just make it happen for their kids, for their families, and like, it makes you appreciate it more, at least touching that world.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And I mean, there's an honor in anything that you do. I think that anything that fulfills you as a human, whether that be feeding your family or writing a poem, you know what I mean? Like, I feel that hopefully I can get all of the above to still come out to my shows. But,
yeah.
That's what makes it all worth it. Or at least, again, that's what I'm banking on.
Yeah. That's the human experience,
100%.
Yeah. What are you working on now? Like, what's the next plans and stuff?
Man, I just finished mapping out this next year. So I'm getting married in May.
Nice.
Nice. Congrats.
The biggest performance of my life. No. I tried to ask if I can marry myself and if I can MC it, and I was told no.
You're gonna do it.
The one time, Leah. The one time.
You gotta take off.
Yes.
Day at least.
Yes. Yeah, but give me a few drinks and we'll see who has the mic in their hand. No, I that's taking up a lot of time. And it does feel like the biggest event I ever planned. But with that, I think I'm also challenging myself to still get multiple triads shows in. So my series is called Mouth by Mctastic.
Yeah.
And we did volume 1. We have volume 2 in October. And I'm hoping I can pump them out let me not put a number on it, every few months after that. I'm also talking to a couple different venues and bringing back the erotic poetry, because for some reason that fell off in New York City on the scene. There's a lot of youngins out here.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I love to see the grow children, but it's
Does it feel like they're uncomfortable talking about erotic stuff?
No, I feel like I'm uncomfortable. No, I don't feel like I'm uncomfortable, but I think that it's just with the new generation, I think you realize that the elders have left. And so you're like kind of in the middle here, and I'm like, let me get to it and bring this back and see what they have to say. So that's my idea. And so I'm bringing that back. Although I do know of my homegirl J Rose. She does with her series of Rose Garden events. Shout out J Rose. She does.
She's a dope poet too.
Yeah, that's my good sis. She does an erotic poetry showcase, so I want to bring that back. And then I'm also looking for like some mid-sized venues for some things. I'm producing my friend Anubis's. He runs the Harlem Bomb Shelter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's one of the founders. He has a one-man show that is like stunning spoken word show. And I'm producing a couple of those at the end of August. That'll be really fun for me. It's a very different experience. It's a lot less work. That still allows me to be involved in something different, and to be able to just really focus on the production part instead of the worrying about the artists and the budget and the so on and the so forth. So I'm like doing that juggling act. I'm trying to get back to performing at school sometimes. I had like a couple years where I was just like all over these schools in New York City. I'd love to get back to that, but right now I'm really focused on the series. And for myself personally, I don't know. I'd like to do a one-woman show myself.
Yeah.
But I challenged myself. I tried to like skew the numbers, the calendar numbers in my head so many times, and I don't think there's any possible way I'd be able to do it before I get married. So I think probably next summer, knock on wood.
Hey, that'll be
Next
dope.
summer, God willing.
Perform in schools, yeah. You know why? Because I think about, you might not even know this. Maybe you did. So, we went to West Side High School.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so.
Where's that at?
That was on 102nd?
101st.
100,
in
yeah.
Amsterdam.
I don't know nothing about that. I grew up in the Bronx. So.
Yeah, so it's not too far.
Different
from
numbers.
It. Yeah. Dude, so it was so fucking cool. One day they got comedians to come in. You remember Victor? He was I forgot, he was an African history teacher.
I remember. I didn't have him, but I remember.
Yeah,
him.
and he had the heavy accent.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude, you know who performed at that school? It was Donnell Rawlings.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, he was there, and there was two other comics, and Donnell's going up, doing his thing, killing to high school. By the way, it was a high school for fuck ups. So this is mad bad. This is a lot of
That's
bad.
why you said it that way.
Yeah,
We went to West Side. I was like, am I supposed to know this?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
it's an alternative high school. So basically, when you get kicked out of your real school, they send you there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's where we both ended up.
yeah, that's where we both ended up. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's doing his thing, killing, and then Victor, he had this like traditional African mask that he got on stage and like interrupted Donnell Rawlings, bro. And
No way.
yeah, he gets on stage, and Donnell Rawlings sees him, and he takes the mask off, and Donnell's like, "Oh, he took the mask on and still had it on." And yo, the whole high school
my
erupts,
God.
and now his whole set just became him making fun of Victor. Yeah, yeah, and all his it was so fucking funny. So like I remember that, and I that's not that's not one of those things that you're like. It didn't make me start comedy.
Yeah.
But you think back to it.
I think back to it. I'm like, wow, it's wild that I even experienced that in high school. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You never realize, and this is years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is like 2004, 5.
Yeah, that's like a long time
That's
ago.
really got to be challenging. I mean, because I find it challenging to perform at school. I mean, it's hard for me to call it at middle school. Like, middle school's like iffy for me. But
Yeah.
I find it difficult. That's interesting for comedy, though, because I feel like that's got to be a real challenge. You know what I mean? You got to be funny without any of the things.
Yeah, and then like connecting to a younger audience.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, when you're funny, man.
That's true. He's a killer that could just talk shit to the crowd. So just seeing that, like, I'm dying to like meet him one day and be able to talk to him about that, because I'm like, that's such a memory of mine.
Yeah, that's pretty wild to be able to bring up.
Yeah,
That's
that
nuts. Especially, like you now doing that, it's like full circle.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Do you
crazy.
still know Victor?
Nah, I mean, I hope he's alive. You know what I mean? I don't.
I'm curious. I'm like, I wonder how much he brings that up.
Yeah, that. I hope he was a great history teacher too, though. Like I actually remember him being like a really dope history teacher. Him and Norman in that school. Norman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't have Norman either. He was just one of those teachers that, because you called everybody there by their first names.
Yeah.
They wanted everybody
was
to
like
feel
a
like
cool,
friends.
all the bad kids.
I had one of those. It was elementary school, though, in the Bronx,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd often have class and you'd have teachers who weren't teaching, walk in and just kind of hang out and watch and like interject and like be cool with everybody.
Oh,
So I knew everybody there, but I didn't have like half those teachers. I had Jim.
Oh yeah,
Jim Murphy. He looked like a big Santa Claus looking dude.
Super anti-war.
Yeah, he had crazy like Vietnam stories. He lost a bunch of friends in Vietnam, and he was in the
he
war,
was a vet. Yeah,
getting shot at and stuff. He was a vet. Dudes like that whole school had characters.
Yeah, Martin Treat, the English teacher.
Yeah,
he was another Vietnam veteran that was kind of like, he was a little spazzy, man, but he was like I always liked writing and whatnot, so I remember him too. But he would just get angry sometimes. I'm like, damn. I don't know if that's PTSD or what it was, but he was spazzy sometimes. Great teacher, though. Yeah.
But you've always been into comedy, so that's pretty crazy you appreciated it even back then.
Yeah, it was
You found that shit funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's pretty... Did you have anything like that in... Like, how far back would you say you were in, like, got into spoken word and stuff? Or had any experience like Mario, like?
And who inspired you too? Because like I think the only poets I think of growing up is like obviously like Maya Angelou and Langston Hughes.
The ones you have to read in school.
Yeah, those are ones that made me understand it. You know,
the Scholastic fucking lineup.
Oh,
but they had bangers.
Yeah,
they did, and
had
and
chart
they're
toppers.
able to exactly, and universal writing I think is what, especially Maya and Langston specifically. We're on first name basis. Maya and Langston specifically, they write accessible. They had very accessible work. So, so for me, I would say I've been writing my whole life. Like I wrote I was first published when I was like 7 years old. I had a very inspiring teacher who just gave me all the right utensils. I still know him actually to this day. And I was an avid reader, and it was poetry specifically for me. I kept a journal every year of my life. And so I'm just vigorous. I had like that. For a long time, I had an irrational fear of needing to record everything because of the idea that one day it would no longer exist. Or should I no longer exist, I want it physical, non-digital, it's like something tangible.
Tangible, right?
Yeah, my legacy, if you will. So I've been writing my whole life. I think spoken word. After college, I was trying to build a portfolio. I kept getting rejection because I don't know, colleges don't teach you shit. So they don't actually teach you like your options. So I did what I was taught to do, and then I was, getting pretty down on myself in my career and my writing because I kept getting rejected. And then I had a friend who put on a showcase and was like, "Hey, Leah, why don't you just..." I had like a Tumblr blog where I would write my poetry. Why don't you come and read some stuff? So I did, and it was like the best high I ever had. And after that, it was like the rest was history. I was living in Yonkers. I was finishing work at like 7, 8 o'clock, taking trains all the way to the city to do the thing, go to the open mics, like you comics, like going to all the multiple spots, and then coming back. You become addicted, and then community happens, and so on and so forth. But for me, being inspired, I am inspired. Because I went to a school where I wasn't taught any multicultural writing. I was very well versed in the classics. So, like, all my spoken word poetry has these, like, classic literature references. Classics as in, my favorite is 1960s American literature, but I go as far back as the 1800s, the Romantics periods, the modernism of the 1900s, and so on and so forth. So those guys really inspire me. But this 1960s is where it was at for me. So a couple of my favorite female artists, Sylvia Plath, Anne Sexton, they were like 50s going into the 60s. And they were going crazy, like Housewives Gone Mad kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not both of them, but Sylvia Plath for sure. She put her head in an oven to kill herself.
Did she?
Yes,
I
she
didn't know
did.
that. I've
And
heard
then
that name before. I've never
she
read
did.
any of her
She
stuff.
killed herself. Yes, and Anne Sexton also killed herself, which is my other 1960s poet. inspiration. And Virginia Woolf also killed herself.
I never.
So
knew
that's
that.
my top 3. There's definitely
So
a poem
pulling
in
from
there
the dark.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Talking about coming from the dark. Yeah, I gotta write about that. I think I might have once upon a time. So they were all. That's the 1960s for me is when in America like free verse, aka like writing poetry without rules, without rhyme scheme. That's when it was really getting out there. And so the beat generation, as they're called, they were really, I mean, they were doing all this acid and whatnot, and they were writing. And so that's when I feel like I'm not crediting the beat generation for spoken word whatsoever, but I do think that they contributed to it. And
That
yeah, I'm
generation
just a big-
inspired a lot of stuff, though.
what?
That generation inspired so
Hell
much,
yeah.
like art and culture, like that whole psychedelic movement.
Oh, yeah.
And everything, even till this day, like
Yeah.
yeah,
It's yeah, especially in the chaos of like, I mean, think about how like politically charged things are now,
yeah.
and like you think about how politically charged things were then. It kind of, I mean, yeah.
We need
I'll
some
leave it at
hippies,
that. I'll leave
you
it
know.
at that. Yeah.
We need some flower power, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they exist somewhere on social media.
Yeah, but they just probably high as fuck doing nothing.
We need you guys back in
Yeah.
the streets.
Listening to fucking Hendrix and shit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Leah, you released a prompt book, right?
I
thought it was-
did. I actually brought a physical, tangible copy here.
Oh, nice.
The
Nice.
Writer's Unblocked Journal. Now, this was back in 2020, 2021. Prompts and activities for writers. Speaking of J Rose and I
nice.
published that together. Right now, we have the ebook out. We haven't restocked the regular one. We're thinking about making a couple other themed ones, but I shan't give away much else.
Yeah.
But yes,
No, that's a
Nice.
good writing tool. Like,
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I thought it would be cool if you gave a couple to me and this guy.
I thought it would also be cool.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it would also be cool. It's like, all right. I was trying to decide if I wanted to think of this beforehand or if I just wanted to like pick a number, any number.
Oh shit.
So let's see. Okay.
The anticipation.
I know. Okay. Some of these are funny and some of these are not appropriate.
The not appropriate one.
Okay, here's a good one. Here's a good one. I like this one a lot.
All right, who is this gonna go for?
Oh, you're not both doing the same one. Okay.
Nah. You want to do the same one or you want to do a different one?
I
I think we should do different ones.
I'm going in blind, baby.
Yeah.
You want to do? I kind of want you both to do the same one, but no. We'll do different ones. So this one is for you, Mario.
All right.
But I think you might need to write something down
Okay.
because you have to use specific words. Yes. I'm curious. Are you gonna do a? You know, I don't want to ask any questions. Let me just be surprised.
Yeah.
I have no idea where this is going to go.
Neither do I.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what's fun about it.
Okay. Write yourself a letter as your future self.
Okay.
A letter as your future self. You're writing a letter as your future self to
Okay.
your present day self.
Okay.
Use the words worry,
Worry,
painting,
painting,
shade,
shade,
Jesus.
mountains,
mountains,
limitations,
limitations,
and love.
and love.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Now I
Now-
got a pen for you.
Oh yes, do this.
the
Too. I
composition.
want
I
this
gave
to
you
be
the old-
authentic. This is how I write.
I
You
gave
gotta
you the
write on
old
paper
school book.
first.
Here, I got a couple.
I got that big. I'm good.
Okay. Similar but different.
Okay.
Write a ghost story.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
See what I did there? Using the words.
Mm-hmm.
Speed limit. Thorns.
What?
Thorns.
Thorned.
Thorns.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going to say because that can go various ways.
All right, so you said thorned.
Thorns. Thorns.
Thorns. Okay.
Thorns. Yeah.
I don't think thorned is a word. No.
That's why I was like, what? All right.
I have to give that a Google 100% though.
I've gotten thorned.
Thorned. Okay, so speed limit, thorns, mirror, curtain, and violin.
Shit. Okay, and I gotta write a ghost story.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna write these letters. We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
A woman once took a wrong turn, driving down a dead road on her way home. No other cars accompanied her. She traveled all alone. She made sure to go by the speed limit, just to be safe. But there wasn't anyone in sight in this unfamiliar place. As the sounds of violins blared from her speakers, the music she loved to hear, her car began to slow down on its own as she became overcome with fear. She pulled over on the road to see what was wrong, to find her front tires punctured by thorns. Wondering if this was a bad omen, a result of her going off course. Unsettled by the finding, she removed them and went on her way, constantly checking her rearview mirror as she drove off with no delay. After driving aimlessly, lost and unsure, she made it back to the main road after her strange detour. She made it home safely, or so she thought at first, only to find every curtain in her home drawn. She felt as if she was cursed. She knew she hadn't left her home this way. She made sure of it too. But whatever stopped her on that road was with her, and their spirit was now peering through.
Yeah. Dear Mario, I write this to say you mustn't worry, for your path is mountainous and you mustn't scurry. You must fall in love with the journey, the pain, the rain, the downs, the flurries. This is your way. Never set a limitation on your time, for time is infinite and full of rhyme. I must warn you, if you are broke, stray from crime, for that too is infinite and full of time. It may get hot, and you must not be afraid to stay in the shade, but I warn you, you're continuing to bald, and you mustn't get too paid.
Remember that movie Love Don't Cost a Thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, they make spoken word look crazy in that movie.
They do in every movie.
Bro,
you
that
ever seen
movie-
22, the second 22 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Do you remember when he does spoken word there?
Yeah, it's
It's like, what's her name? Samantha Miranda's like, Miranda, you are dead. Like,
Yo, in Love Don't Cost a Thing, she's like, she gets into spoken word like in the movie. Like she's never. I don't think she had a history of it. He took her to like a slam show, and she went and she was like inspired and becomes like a deep ass poet.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh my
yo,
God, I don't remember that part. Now I gotta watch it.
That shit got me so mad because I'm like, bro, this is not for real. Like,
Overnight.
this shit is.
It just comes to you.
Yeah, and then you see like compilation, like it's like a montage of everybody on the stage like saying like real corny shit, bro.
Yeah.
It's like real corny shit. It's like, oh, come on, get this shit out of here, bro.
I feel like every movie and every show. Like, I know the Fresh Prince has an episode too.
Oh yeah.
Oh damn, that's true.
Like a De La Soul, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I didn't even remember that.
Fresh Prince also had a episode where he tried to do stand up.
No way.
Remember that?
Oh
And
damn.
was it Chris Rock or
No, it's that wasn't Alan Payne. That was the basketball episode.
I forgot who, but it was-
Jazzy Jeff. No, he's in the De La Soul.
yeah, it was a real comic that was on. I
Yeah.
forgot who, and like Will tried to do it because he had one good joke, and then he just goes on stage and just wow.
Just bombs, yeah.
Oh man, I gotta look at that.
Yeah, it's always funny how they portray shit like that. But Leah, where
Okay.
can people catch you and stuff, you know?
People can catch me anywhere on the interwebs at Leah V Speaks or Mike Tastic NYC. And my next show, actually next weekend, the 13th, 14th, is the New York City Poetry Festival. The Thursday after that, on the 18th, I'm doing my monthly open mic, Mike Tastic, in the Lower East Side at the Parkside Lounge, 7 to 10:30.
I'll be there.
Yes. And everybody can find out all the information on all of the things at leahvspeaks.com.
Nice.
Thank you for doing this, Leah. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I've
No
been
problem.
Mario. I've been Mario Benitez.
Jose Ortiz.
And that's Leah V. Check her out everywhere, like she said, on the interweb. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Peace.